Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunn again. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Oval Mackintosh Small. This is the 134322. So historically, there were three different sizes of this Mackintosh fixture, this oval pendant. There's a very large one that's about 42 inches. There's one that's 32 inches. This was the smallest one, and this was coming in at about 24 inches left to right. It is now a discontinued fixture. However, we have a lot of customers who still want this, so we're going to be offering this as a custom fixture through Hubbardton Forge's customs department. That means a couple things. So it means that we have to get a price quote on whatever day you're looking to get a price quote, because that's going to change with how things are priced. But it's also going to be something that's non-returnable and take probably about 6 weeks to make, because that's how long customs take. So another thing is, this is kind of based also, there's a smaller version of a oval Mackintosh semi-flush, that's the 124341. That's still current product. If you go back to Hubbardton Forge's site or our site, you can go back to that, especially on our site. If you put in 124341, that'll pop up. Watch the video on that, and you can look at the specs on that as well. So why don't we get into some of the really cool things about this. I love this fixture. I kind of wish it wasn't discontinued, because I could still be selling quite a few of them. Uses beautiful thick glass. So this oval piece of glass is coming in at 22 inches left to right, which is this way, and then 8 inches wide, and the depth on it is coming in at 3 inches. So it looks a little more than 3 inches to me. Anyway, so this is slump glass, and if you're familiar with slump glass in America, that's a process that a lot of artisans use all over the world, and it's a way that artisans can make glass in shapes like this, including bowls, and they can make plates. And what they basically do is they take a form, in this case it's going to be an oval form, they put chunks of glass onto it. It goes into a kiln, and a kiln is a super hot oven. It's going to melt all of that, and it's going to fall into that form. It's going to slump into the form, hence the word slump glass. And then they're going to come back later on, put in another layer of white glass on this, which is a creamy opal, and Hubbardton Forge's opal glass is used throughout the line. Then they're going to come back at the end of that, and they're going to sandblast the whole thing to make it matte. So it's going to be this kind of very translucent, milky kind of piece of glass. It's really beautiful. It's very thick. It's very substantial. So it's really great. It's made by Wallingford Glass Industries, and they're in Wallingford, Connecticut. And they make a lot of slump glass in America, and they're also the premier people who do stained glass. So very cool stuff. So that is the story on the glass. Let's get into some of the specs on this. So historically, we're going to kind of talk about the body of the fixture, and when we do, we're really talking about from the bottom of the glass, or the bottom of the fixture, to where the rods are going to start. So you've got about 11 inches tall, like I said before, 24 inches left to right. It's actually 23.6, and the depth is coming in at 8. The canopy up in the ceiling, that's going to be 5.5 inches. It's going to go over your standard 4-inch junction box with no problem at all. This is slope ceiling adaptable already to 245 degrees. So at the top of your stem is going to be a knuckle, and that knuckle is going to be able to bend in one direction to get you to that 45 degrees without any problem at all. So slope ceiling, yes. Now that leads us to the other thing. So since this is going to be a custom fixture, we can do a couple different versions of these rods. So you're going to notice Hubbardton Forge doesn't really use the telescoping rod system anymore, though they have a patent on this. This is what made them such a great company. And now they're using screw-together rods, which actually offers more versatility as far as making things shorter, which I kind of like. So it opens the gate up to a lot of people who need short pendants. However, this gives you a nice sliding adjustability. So when you're ordering this fixture or just trying to get a quote, you're going to be emailing me and saying, I'm looking at the 134322. It's an obsolete fixture. I'm looking to do it as a custom. And then you can pretty much dictate the overall height you're looking for from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling itself. And then you can tell me which version you're looking for. So the telescoping rods, smaller rod here, bigger rod there. This is called a clutch, and inside of it is a set, well, there's a set screw right there you can barely see, right there, and then there's a friction sleeve inside. So basically during your installation you can kind of bring it up and down, get it where you want to be, tighten that little screw, and it's going to stay in place. That's going to be one version we can do. So the second version we can do is what Hubbardton Forge is using on a lot of their fixtures now, which is a series of screw-together pipes. Very easy. You would email me again and say you're looking at the 134322 custom fixture. You need it to be overall height of X, and then we will talk about what our options are with that. And then you can tell me, do you like this, just the very slender look of this, or do you want the adjustability of this? And that's going to be kind of the things that we can do. Okay, that's very important to do too, so make sure you mention that. Now let's talk about what's going on inside of this as far as lamping goes. This is using two G9 sockets, and they're on their side. When you look at the picture next to me, you're going to see that one is pointing that way, one is pointing that way. They're on their side, so light is going to go up, hit your ceiling, and bounce around. It's also going to go down, and it's going to go into your glass as well. So you get quite a bit of light out of this if need be. You have a lot of options for bulbs on this too. These G9s accept halogen bulbs still, and you can still get little halogen bulbs, those little prongs on the bottom, so they just push right in like that. If you do want to stick with halogens, you're going to only be able to use 260 watts, so keep that in mind. However, I don't think you really should go in this direction because there's so many great LEDs out there. And to get the max light out of this, I would probably go for something like this. This is a Cobb LED. I picked this up on Amazon. This is a 100-watt equivalent G9 Cobb LED. I think that's great. I use this all over my showroom because it just provides incredible amounts of light. So I can get the equivalent of 200 watts light of incandescent light out of this by just using the right bulb. And like I said, picked it up on Amazon. It was in the right color temperature that I liked, and it's also dimmable, so that's nice for that. This is only 13 pounds. It's not very heavy, so it's just going to hang from a normal junction box. Just kind of remember that. And then, so to kind of recap everything, custom fixture. If you're interested in this, you're going to email me and tell me you're looking at the 134322, whichever metal finish you're doing. You're going to also mention, you're going to talk about, I like the telescoping rods versus the screw together rods, or vice versa. And then you're also going to tell me the overall height you're trying to achieve from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling itself, including if you need it to be slope ceiling adaptable, because that can sometimes figure into very shorter ranges. So keep that in mind. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below. So scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart. So you can click on dark smoke. You can click on soft gold. Doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. In those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.